On this week's Hot List, safe sex, a new criminal code took effect this year with unmarried relations illegal. Should tourists be afraid? New reality, artificial intelligence is here causing joy and confusion. Should AI be regulated? And export boom, how homegrown Muslim fashions help everyone. Hello and welcome. This is Hot Indonesia. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Let's get started. Here are my co-hosts. Sandiaga Uno is a former Minister of Tourism, Deputy Governor of Jakarta, and high-flying entrepreneur. And Yenny Wahid is the director of the Wahid Foundation, which promotes pluralism. She is the daughter of the fourth President of Indonesia. Hot topic number one, safe sex. It's 345 pages long and passed 4 years ago, but the new criminal code only took effect on January 2nd this year, and the public fallout has begun. The code replaces laws made during Dutch colonial rule and include as crimes insulting the president and treasonous ideology. But it is one section that has people in and out of Indonesia very concerned, and that is, team, you're well aware of it, the law that criminalizes sex outside marriage with a 1-year prison term. Yenny, you know, our prisons would be further overflowing if all those engaged were convicted. What is the genesis, you know, seriously, of a law like this? Is it culture or religion?
It's a mix of both. It's the custom law, the culture, our social norms, as well as, of course, some religious doctrine. As you've been here for so long, you know that Indonesians across the board are very religious. Whether you're Muslims, Christians, Hindus, or Buddhists, most people here are very, very religious and take religion seriously.
But this wasn't an issue before. I mean, the law, you know, this law, no one said...
It was not an issue.
Yeah.
In fact, now it's even more restrictive in a way that you cannot just be, reported to the police for having, you know.
I mean, adultery was illegal.
Yeah,
adultery was already illegal, but not.
It was illegal, but before anyone can report you if they see you doing that. But now it's only the next of kin can report you. So if your spouse doesn't complain, your kid doesn't complain, your legal partner doesn't complain, then you cannot be convicted of this offense.
Okay, but it was a scary headline around the world when they were talking about this, particularly for our international visitors. But the law goes on to say, as you said, Yenny, it can only be prosecuted if reported to police by a spouse, parent, or child of the offender. Sandy, you were the tourism minister at the time the laws were being proposed, the legislation was being discussed. You had to deal with a worried tourism industry.
Yeah, we discussed about this when we were just about to end COVID, and tourism was being opened, and we were going to host the G20, and a lot of people were concerned that it will impact Indonesia's positions to attract international tourist arrivals. But our argument is actually that this law actually make it more difficult to prosecute because of the restrictions that who can file an official complaint. And we are saying that the old colonial Dutch era law, it's so outdated already, and we need to make it more in line with our cultural and our religious belief. But we're in the month of Ramadan now, and Indonesia showing a very remarkable resiliency in terms of issues such as this law has brought up. And I think if we look at it very, very holistically and comprehensively, I think net for the international audience and for us promoting Indonesia as a tourist destination, it should not have a negative impact.
Well, you're saying the point is it's even more, it's better for tourists now.
It's better for tourists now.
The law makes it clear that specific people have to report you.
Not just tourists, expats as well.
Yeah, people who live here as well. You know, and I don't believe there's been a single case so far being reported. I haven't seen anything since the law started January 2nd. I think the only scenario where this could happen if there is a abuse involved in a relationship, and that's a bad thing, or blackmail of someone who is going with someone and the family wants to make some money. I'm not want to give people ideas, but that's the only places I think.
And this empowers the spouses and the parents and the kids as well. If they see something that's been happening with their I don't know, with anyone, in the family members doing hanky-panky outside, then
and it is going to take away, Ustazah Yenny, the random rates.
He doesn't get it. What is Ustazah?
Ustazah is a Muslim leader, and because she's recognized as a very, very pious.
I always bow
Muslim
down to her.
leader.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You should all do that. Come on.
Because people were worried about the random rates by certain organizations. Hotels were worried, and now it's sort of like take away that possibility for proactive enforcements of some mischievous local leaders who wants to get political score,
publicity or money or whatever the reason, the wrong reasons. Much more important to me though in this new set of laws, and let's do a quick take on this, is the insulting the president or state agencies law. Legal experts say this is too broad and could stifle honest criticism. We already have defamation laws on the books, and they could enforce. But real quick takes on this inclusion in the new code of you can't insult the president, Yenny.
Well, this is regressing. We're going back. The freedom of expression that we achieved, came from such a high cost. When the students demonstrated and activists in '98 reform era. So we should honor that. And when you're in office, you have to be. It comes in a package. It's part of the package that you will be criticized if you're doing anything wrong. If you're seen by the public of doing of wrongdoings. So it comes with the position. So you should take that. And I think politicians have to develop thick skins, I'm afraid. But
these kind of
this
laws.
Is for democracy.
Right. San, your quick take on this? As a former political leader.
Unlike Yenny's father, President Wahid always say, gitu aja kok repot, It's a small thing. It's a small thing. You as the leader of the country, people have many things to say about your decisions, your policies. And I think everybody should really respect their leaders, but we should also respect their opinions.
And as tourism minister, there are positives and people criticizing. And if you took everybody to court or to the police, you'd be totally busy.
Yeah.
It's useless, right? I mean, not useless, but...
Not only that, Indonesians are very, very creative. If you send people to jail for certain ways of expressing themselves, their opinions, they find another way through humor, through performance arts, or anything, any kinds of expressions. There are all kinds of outlets for that. So I don't think it will dampen the motivation, or not the motivation, really, the expression. The expression.
Yeah, and one of the ways is through AI, which we are going into next. Hot Indo will continue shortly. The new reality, is AI a good or bad thing, and should government regulate it?
A strong Indonesia is built when opportunity reaches everyone. But today, too many are left out of the digital economy. That's why we are building ION, Indonesia Open Network, a nation-building movement for an inclusive digital economy. ION opens access to markets so MSMEs can grow, communities can trade, and new digital services can emerge. And with every new connection, ION creates real jobs for youth across commerce, logistics, technology, and beyond. ION is how Indonesia grows together. Join the movement.
Setiap organisasi memiliki potensi yang besar yang menunggu untuk dibangkitkan. Pradaim didirikan oleh para ahli bersertifikasi. Kami hadir untuk mengembangkan mindset dan keterampilan manusia dengan kurikulum custom, interactive learning, dan metode coaching yang relevan dengan kebutuhan perusahaan. Hasilnya adalah perubahan nyata dalam performa, komunikasi, dan budaya kerja.
Paradigm. We don't teach, we educate.
Everything is here, everything is yours, everything is Gapura Prima. Everything is here, everything is yours, everything is Gapura Prima. Everything is here, everything is yours.
You're watching Hot Indonesia with Yenny, Sandy, and me. Here's hot topic number 2, new reality.
Legal team acting in bad faith. This is a deepfake example of what is possible.
The concept of artificial intelligence came more than 70 years ago, but AI is now a reality. Its use growing every day, from talking babies to morphing celebrities to creators putting the words in the mouths of our leaders. AI is pervasive, confusing, and frightening all at once. You know, AI used to be where computers, when it started, computers would just gather the inputted data and be used to help in decision making. That was where it started. Now we're in what's called the generative AI era, where anyone can create just about anything, a video, an image. Sandy, from a business standpoint first, it can be a tremendous benefit.
It has boost productivity. It has create efficiency. I used to spend like 90 minutes to 120 minutes answering emails. Now it took me less than 30 minutes answering emails, and I have hundreds of emails a day. And it makes our business decisions much more quicker, and we could really take on more data. We could do big data analysis. We could run simulations, scenario plannings, much simpler using AI. And all in all, it has been positive for business.
But you don't let AI make your decisions. You're just
No.
Yeah.
You make your decisions, but AI assisted.
And real quick, how do you get it to answer emails? I want to learn about this one.
Oh,
Is there a program? There's a program?
very simple. No. You use. I use Gemini. Some people use ChatGPT. Some other people use.
You mean for answers?
They would go through all your inboxes and then see all the threads and see past conversations and put it on and
You can just
suggest
copy
it.
paste it onto the AI if you want to. There's another
Yeah,
way
yeah.
to
Well,
do that.
for me,
and ask them to draft a reply.
Yeah, that is the tough one. But for me, it's just do a reply, and then I would prompt. I say, okay, Gemini, okay, ChatGPT, please answer, and I wanna include, and I wanna stress and put emphasis on this, and that.
Okay, I didn't know that. No.
And I said, oh, this is too formal. Make it more friendlier, and then they make it more friendlier.
Well, it can be simpler things, even like asking Alexa or Siri, what's the weather going to be tomorrow, right? I mean, that's a simple thing. Yenny, how do you use AI, and are you at all afraid of its impact?
I think AI is like electricity. It is very transformative, but can be dangerous without safeguards. So we need to put in the regulations to regulate AI, in my opinion, because otherwise there are so many risks when it comes to AI. Fake news, all these videos of, I don't know, we might see a jumping Dalton, jumping around.
No, that's me for real.
Yeah, that's you for real. Right, exactly.
They would replace us.
Yeah, well, AI talk show host.
But, AI also wipes out jobs. That's the other thing. That's the other side, the negative side of AI. So people need to be bracing for a new world. But AI is our collective consciousness in a way.
Oh, if you own a business.
What we put into the AI world will stay there, and will form, will mix with other people's thoughts, feelings, etc., and becomes our consciousness. It's not going to go away. But
that's a scary part.
We need to regulate that, in my opinion.
Okay, I want to get more into this, but you said it wipes out jobs, but from the employer standpoint, it creates efficiency, and you're saving on payroll, right?
And you create better quality jobs.
It can, not necessarily, but
if you can master it.
That's the idea.
You can master it. That's why you need to spread AI to younger communities, generations, so that they could master it. And they could use AI to actually create better quality jobs.
And it's a big business now, teaching people AI. You see it on social media. Take a course. In 2 months, you'll be an expert. I'm not sure about that.
I like what Yenny is saying. AI is like electricity. So it could be very good. It could put all this thing into power, but it could be very bad if you use it wrongly. And data is like the wiring. So you need to populate it with data, and you need to teach AI to get better and better.
Okay, let's get into the regulation. You said it should be regulated. Who does the regulating? Critics say that this is like the internet. You can't censor it. You can't allow government to be the arbiter of what AI can be. My argument is I think content creators should be required, if there is any regulation, should be required to include on the screen of an image or video generated by AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
A watermark. But
Yeah.
not saying that you cannot use AI on this platform, That's regulated, the government.
Yeah.
But it should be, I'm not sure if government should be the regulator or platforms should be the regulator.
Well, the government should push platforms to create the safeguard for that. Because common people will not be able to do that. They are the ones who have this, the handling of the technology, so they have to come up with the safeguards as well. But the government has to regulate that. And the government also needs to regulate when it comes to malicious intent. You cannot use AI, people can use AI for malicious intent.
We've seen it.
You need to regulate on that.
So the government says you must put this text or this watermark on all your AI generated pieces, good or bad?
In my opinion, it's good.
Yeah, I think the government is now doing the National AI Roadmap, and ethics is going to be 360 in that sort of like roadmap, because you need AI to have I would say, guidelines or supervised by the ethical conduct. And you need to make sure also that it is going to be a public-private partnership. It cannot be just government, because you need to have other stakeholders to put together this sort of like a sandbox approach in terms of making sure that AI could be used for the betterment of the people.
But I'm wondering, could government properly regulate AI content? I mean, you know what I mean? It gets into a scary situation where they can go further and further. That was the issue with the internet and anything you post online.
And some experts believe that there will come a time when AI could surpass humans' intelligence. And I think we are going into that era very, very soon. So we have to come up, the collective has to come up with a solution for this. Otherwise, we will be very much dictated by the very few big corporations behind the AI platforms. That's what I'm worried about.
So government suggests to Facebook or Instagram that anything you can see, and they can see the source of the content. If it's AI generated, I believe there are footprints where you can do that. You're saying the government then should suggest to them that they need this label, right?
I think so.
And,
I just saw the
is
other
that a
day.
violation? Maybe not.
Do you know, Dalton, I just saw the other day an AI used by a company using all of these figures, political figures in Indonesia, Ibu Megawati, Pak SBY, segala macam, all kinds, figures in Indonesia selling products on their platform. I thought, what? I thought it was real at first. And I
Oh,
thought,
come on.
This is.
Was
is
your
this
dad in
real?
there selling it?
I haven't seen it
Okay.
yet, but I saw all kinds of people there.
But in a more serious tone, this is actually already happening. I think Anthropic and Pentagon, they are discussing, and there's some disputes in terms of breach of data, what AI can do, and what sort of suggestion. And this is national security. This is not just selling products. So we need to put the right thinking, and I think public-private partnership would be needed to sort of govern it.
Yeah, keep it within the norm, the good bounds. Now, we're not saying regulating content. We're just saying identifying the content as AI generated. That's the point. Yeah. That's the difference. Okay. More Hot Indo is ahead. Export boom. Why global customers are enjoying Indonesian Muslim fashion.
Everything is here, everything is yours, everything is Gapura Prima. Everything is here, everything is yours, everything is Gapura Prima. Everything is here, everything is yours.
You are watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Here's hot topic number 3, export boom. It's called modest fashion, an industry term for clothes that adhere to religious teachings. And it's a growing business, with exports in 2025 rising nearly 4% over the year before. There is growing international recognition of Indonesian designs, with the year-on-year expansion now valued at more than $8 billion. And Yenny, you always wear beautiful headscarves, but it extends a lot more than that. Beyond that, as far as fashion is concerned.
Yeah, I think Sandy can talk more about the impact on the economy, how it creates jobs. So this is like $1 billion industry that is dealing with all sorts of massive benefits for the people, employment, etc. Right, economic growth. But for me, this is also especially in Indonesia, right? This is a projection of Indonesia as a moderate Muslim society. The way we dress, with beautiful colors, with
a lot different than the Middle East.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
So I think this is also can be seen as a very positive projection of who we are.
Of our image as well as a business. But Sandy,
Exactly.
speaking of Sandy, among your many businesses, you have also become a designer of Islamic fashion. Is that
Very
correct?
nice.
This is my design.
Okay, it's what is it called? Sandiaga Uno.
In Trece.
Wow.
And this is
Why did you do it?
This is a $500 billion global business. 500 billion. It's like half of the Indonesian economy potential markets. and our exports is growing. Indonesia is now being seen as an epicentrum because of the creativity, the design that we have been able to develop. It was one of our core creative economy portfolio, which is fashion, that actually portrays Indonesia as a market leader. So it creates good quality jobs. Among the 20 million creative economy jobs, this probably rank the second after culinary in terms of jobs creations. And we are seeing that it empowers women. For instance,
Not just women.
not just women, well, a lot of guys, but we are partnering women entrepreneurs from Tasikmalaya and Majalaya from West Java, and they started with just one single sewing machine, and now they have about 40.
And they're helping you produce your fashions.
And yeah, all the productions, the designs are within the partnerships that we created, and we see that this is a huge sector for us to focus on.
Yeah, it's potentially big business. Now, modest doesn't always mean boring, right? I mean, I've been to fashion shows here where the models are on the catwalk and it's bling bling. It's not like just whites or grays or blacks.
Jakarta Muslim Fashion Week generated about 20 million worth of revenue for all the SMEs participating. So it's huge business.
And our big export markets are where? In Middle East mainly?
Middle East, Malaysia, just Southeast Asia, and
Probably Africa as well.
And we're now opening up to the next continent, which is Africa.
We could dominate this sector.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But do you know the origin of the the clothes that Sandy is wearing? The
This is
baju koko.
China.
Baju
It's
koko.
China.
China.
It's a
Ah,
Chinese
Jungko.
influence style.
That's a combination
Coco.
of things. Yeah?
Coco. We call it the
Coco,
baju.
yeah, baju koko is-
baju koko. Koko means brother in Chinese.
It's
Chinese.
inspired by our and our many of, correct me if I'm wrong, our early Muslim leaders came from China also.
So it's we have a fusion of fashion here to
Absolutely.
export to the world,
Yeah.
which is very unique. You do women's clothes too? No, just men.
We do women clothes.
Okay, next time bring some and we'll.
I cannot wear them, but yeah.
You can if you like. Hey, we're tolerant. We're tolerant. Sandy.
I can ask
Very
Yenny.
moderate.
I can
You can do whatever
I
you
ask
like,
Yenny
Sandy.
to wear it for me.
It's okay
The
with me.
criminal
Sandy.
code doesn't concern
you
that.
say
So it's
that-
okay.
Cross-dressing is not in the criminal code.
It's okay, Sandy. You say it, I say okay. It is feedback time now, and Yaroslav writes from the Czech Republic. Let's invest in the Indonesia stock market. Well, always get expert advice before you do, sir. And Rafi posted this about our new Hot Indo team. Iconic. Here's how to contact us with your feedback. Email at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.world or comment through our Hot Indonesia or Indonesia Channel, X, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Final words, Yenny.
As the fasting month begins, Indonesians embrace it as a season of renewal, a chance to cleanse the body, calm the mind, and soften the heart. So we greet one another with Minal Aidin wal Faizin, Mohon maaf lahir dan batin. This is a beautiful tradition in which we try to seek forgiveness from each other, from one another. So in that spirit, allow me to extend that to you. So allow me to say Minal Aidin wal Faizin, Mohon maaf lahir dan batin.
Final words, Sandy.
恭喜发财，万事如意，新年快乐，大吉大利。Happy, prosperous Chinese New Year, the year of the fire horse. And also, Minal Aizin wal Faizin, to our Muslim brothers and sisters, Marhaban ya Ramadan. And hopefully your fasting, inshallah, will be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And finally, to our friends, our Catholic friends who observe Ash Wednesday, and this is truly Indonesia unity and diversity. Happy observant of Ash Wednesday.
And my final words, for those of us non-Muslims entering Ramadan, it can also be a time of self-reflection and self-control. Do we do or say enough to our loved ones? Can we help others more regularly? And while our neighbors are fasting, maybe it's a good time to show restraint in what and how much we eat. This holy month can be a good life lesson for all of us, right? And that is Hot Indonesia for this week. For Yenny Wahid and Sandiaga Uno, I'm Dalton Tanonaka. Thank you very much for watching. Please join us again next time.